There are moments when Hollywood loses a star so suddenly, and tragically that the aftershocks are felt not just in the entertainment industry, but in the hearts of everyday fans. Johnny Wactor was one of those stars, a beloved actor best known for his role in General Hospital. Johnny was the kind of person who made his mark not only on screen but off screen, through the way he lived his life, quietly passionate, deeply devoted to his work, and most importantly, utterly kind. On a warm night in Los Angeles, 1 year after his sudden and violent death, his family gathered to honor him in the most profound way possible by watching his final film. A film that would, by tragic irony, center around grief, love, and memory. The movie is called Ciao, Mama, and for those who knew Johnny best, it was more than a project. It was a passion, a labor of love, and a final gift. The premiere was held at the Dances with Films Festival in Los Angeles on June 25th. A moment many had been waiting for, with a mix of anticipation and heartbreak. Among the attendees were Johnny's mother, Scarlett Wactor, and his brother, Lance Wactor, dressed in simple black. They posed on the red carpet, their eyes filled with emotion. Scarlett later admitted to wearing waterproof mascara because she knew tears would come. And how could they not? The last time Scarlett had heard her son's voice was over a year ago, before the night that shattered their world forever, on May 25, 2024. Johnny Wactor was killed after encountering a group of men attempting to steal the catalytic converter from his car. He was walking with a colleague after finishing a shift at a bar in downtown Los Angeles. What should have been a routine night ended in senseless violence. He was only 37 years old. Scarlett, speaking to Extra, said it best: "It will be great to hear his voice and to see him." Then she paused. "I just wish he could be here." Her voice cracked, but she held her composure in front of flashing cameras and eager reporters. She wasn't just mourning her son. She was also celebrating him. Lance Wactor, Johnny's younger brother, stood beside her with quiet strength. It was Lance who had stepped in during the final stages of post-production to help complete Ciao, Mama. He revealed that producers had asked him to voice a few missing lines from Johnny's character, since he sounded almost exactly like his late brother. "Apparently, I sound just like my brother," he said. "So, I had to do a couple of lines to voice over some scenes." It was both surreal and sacred, speaking in his brother's voice, so that Johnny's final work could be brought to life. The film itself is a deeply emotional story about a grieving son returning home for his mother's funeral. Johnny's character is raw, honest, and vulnerable. Watching it, you'd never guess he wouldn't be around to see the final cut. But behind every scene was a person who believed deeply in storytelling, who put his heart into his craft even when the cameras stopped rolling. Lance called Ciao, Mama Johnny's baby. This was his passion, he said. He put a lot of work into it. For Johnny, this wasn't just a film, it was an opportunity to stretch creatively, to dig into more serious material, to show the world what he was capable of beyond daytime television. It was supposed to be a stepping stone to bigger opportunities. Instead, it became a memorial. As the premiere began, Scarlett and Lance took their seats in the audience. The crowd quieted, and then Johnny's face appeared on screen, alive, vibrant, filled with that spark everyone remembered. For an hour and a half, he was with them again. It wasn't just Johnny's family who was moved. His co-star Micah Jo Parker took the stage after the screening and addressed the audience. "It is such a surreal thing. When we started this, it was 5, and now there's 4 people up here. But Johnny has been with us in so many ways over the past year." His voice trembled, and the audience responded with quiet nods and the occasional tear. "I thank God that I had the chance to know him, that I had the chance to work with him, that we got to make this film together." Johnny's absence was palpable, but so was his presence. It filled the room, in the laughter he brought to scenes, the tenderness he showed in moments of quiet grief, and the sheer dedication he gave to the craft. He wasn't just acting, he was pouring his soul into something he believed in. In January 2025, justice began to unfold, at least partially. 2 of the men involved in the robbery that led to Johnny's death were sentenced. Frank Alano, 22, was given 5 years and 8 months for being an accessory after the fact, receiving stolen property, and for multiple firearm offenses. Leonel Gutierrez, 19, received 4 years after pleading no contest to attempted robbery and grand theft. Meanwhile, Robert Barcelo and Sergio Estrada, both 18 at the time of the murder, are still awaiting trial for murder and attempted second-degree robbery. According to investigators, one of these individuals pulled the trigger that ended Johnny's life, the moment of greed and violence that turned into a tragedy felt across the country. But for Scarlett and Lance, no sentence could bring Johnny back. "He would have done anything for anyone," Scarlett once said. "He was that kind of person." And indeed, the stories that emerged after his death from fans, co-workers, Even strangers who had brief interactions with him painted the same picture. Johnny was good. Not just talented, but genuinely good. He never made headlines for the wrong reasons. There were no scandals, no rumors, no controversies, just hard work, quiet humility, and a deep love for storytelling. He was the kind of actor who would show up early, stay late, and still ask if he could do another take to make a scene even better. He respected the process and everyone involved in it. Scarlett's grief, like that of any mother who's lost a child, is a wound that won't fully heal. But being at the premiere helped her reconnect with Johnny in a way that felt healing. Even if only for a few hours, I was thinking about how he'd be today, she said. He'd be planning an outfit and jumping up and down excited. You could almost picture it, Johnny walking that red carpet, greeting fans, cracking jokes, taking selfies with the crew. That was who he was. In the months since his death, Scarlett and Lance have also become voices in a larger conversation about violence in cities, the safety of working actors, and how crime affects even those who never imagined themselves as victims. They have spoken with grace and purpose, channeling their grief into advocacy and remembrance. For them, honoring Johnny means more than just watching his movies. It means carrying forward his spirit, and Ciao, Mama is now more than a film. It's a time capsule. It's a goodbye letter. It's proof of what Johnny was capable of and a reminder of what the world lost. As the festival ended and the lights came up, the audience gave a standing ovation not just for the film, but for Johnny. Scarlett and Lance stood with tears in their eyes, overwhelmed by the love in the room. That moment of applause wasn't just for a performance, it was for a life. Johnny Wactor's legacy is not defined by how he died, but by how he lived, with kindness, with purpose, and with an unshakable dedication to the craft of storytelling. He made people laugh, cry, think, and feel. He left a mark, and in the end, what more could any artist ask for? If there is one lesson to take from his story, it's this: cherish your passions, love your people fiercely, and know that even in death, the light you create can continue to shine.